All right, welcome to the show. This is the stretch post-game show. Bears lost to the Seahawks 6-3. Before we get going, I want to talk about the beer sponsor of this show. It is Miller Lite. Great tasting, less filling. Hope everyone had a great holidays. Miller Lite was certainly just a great companion to have at these parties. Did a lot of people here have a good Christmas, have nice Miller Lites?
I would say that was pretty much the only good thing about the last handful of days, capped off by this marvelous Bears game we're about to talk to about tonight, Ed. But yes, the Miller Lite was flowing and it was beautiful as can be.
Yeah, I love Miller Lite. I know it might not seem like it right now because I'm so like beyond annoyed about this football team, but I do love them. I do love them. And you guys got to be making those memories at year-end gatherings. Tastes like Miller time. Go to millerlite.com/midshow to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer. Go get your Miller Lite and make sure you drink responsibly, like we just said. All right, so where do we want to start? That game was fucking horrible. And yeah.
Can
It's
we
the
start with can we start here to lighten the mood? Can we start with the full unabridged story of the drywall guy? Because I've been kind of waiting with bating breath to speak with you today, Ed. How did the firing actually go?
Well, let's do it at the end. Let's do it
Can
at
we?
the
All
end.
right, save it for the end. That's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah. We can get to it at the end. Um,
that's the worst
uh,
football game I've ever seen.
It was the most bored I've ever been watching football in my entire life. The
Like
most
I
bored
just
I've ever been watching football.
it's so hard to even talk about and to care about. Like, it's just like what like I can't. We've had bad years before. This is the first time I've ever been like, can this? I need a break from football. Like, and I've never. Usually, it's like the Bears are terrible, but all right, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm not looking forward to the playoffs. I'm not like it's ruining college football for me too. Like, I don't even care about Notre Dame. Like, I just want football to be over with and just to move on to what's next. Who knows? Some other shit team, but. I'm done. Like I'm cooked. I'm done with this team. I can't watch them anymore. I can't talk about them anymore. And it's like until they get Vrabel or Ben Johnson, like I don't want to hear about. I don't care about other coaching candidates. They talked about how embarrassing was that? They talked about coaching candidates the entire game tonight. Well,
yeah.
Pete Carroll,
Well, they need to because Thomas Brown is fucking horrible too.
horrible.
I mean, horrible. Like,
Dude, that's like plant your
like,
fucking foot. 3rd and 17, 3rd and 20, and it slip screens to DJ Moore over
What
and over.
is it with coaches in Chicago and screens?
that's it. It was like, well, here's the thing: you can only run fucking swing screens when you give up 67 fucking sacks in a season. But that's the thing too. Obviously the offensive line fucking sucks. I saw today also they have the second lowest payroll towards the position group in the NFL. Great job, Ryan Poles.
Obviously, yeah.
Great job, Ryan Poles. But even on that one sack, they showed it very clearly where Borum on left tackle.
Yeah.
There's two guys come like right through. There's nothing you could even do about that. That's a scheme thing, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just
But
so fucking
on
bad.
that exact play, Ed, you see the bird's eye view and you see Larry Borum staring at both of those players. Anybody knows that exactly how that play is going to end, and they didn't even think to check.
Yeah.
They didn't even think to check. There was no communication at all,
Yeah.
and it's bad. It's really bad.
It's embarrassing, dude.
It's
I mean, it's
embarrassing.
like we're used to being embarrassed, but like I tweeted Saturday, it's like fucking it just shows God hates us to give us two games Christmas week. And people are like, "Oh, that means God loves us. Like he just wants us to get the season over with." No, that game was not any ounce of love. There was nothing to love about that game. Nothing.
Dude, and then it's just like you look in the stands, it's like, who are all these people? How many free tickets were tonight? I mean, it's 50,000, the stadium's full, and it's just like I understand you buy tickets and been to games this year, but it's like you gotta be a sick fuck to be up there 38 degrees, pouring rain, watching a 6-3 football game. And people
Yeah.
stayed to the end, and then we're getting the sell the team chance on the way out. But it's like they don't care. They're never going to sell the team. The stadium's always full. There is no hope. And I am genuinely starting to, I have like the doom meter, or the alarms are going off about Caleb for me now too. And it's not even him. It's like they're just never going to be able to get it right, and
Oh no,
they're going to ruin him. They're going to ruin
that
him.
absolutely is a valid thought. I said that on the show last week. I'm like, I think he'll be a great quarterback. They'll never win a fucking lick with him, not an ounce with him. He's probably gonna have like a Justin Herbert style run with the Bears, like first 5 years, something similar to that.
I mean, that'd be a gift.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
But what is he? He hasn't won shit,
Dude, I don't even think he's like, dude, this team is so far,
Like,
I don't
I
think
don't
there's
think,
any hope. I don't think there's any hope.
There's none. There's literally none.
and going back to what you said, Ryan, like, and you don't want to begrudge people for going. Like 90% of those people that were in that stadium love this fucking team. And I know that,
Yeah.
the other 10% probably just went because it's like, oh, sure, I'll go. I'm off for Christmas. But like, why is there an inclination for them to change when Bears fans will continuously show up in the midst of a 10-game losing streak,
Yeah.
scoring 3 points in the fucking rain?
At
For
home to
Christmas,
a fucking 500 team.
yeah, man. And if there's any doubt that Ryan Poles has to go, you need to leave that doubt in the river. Is anyone here? Ryan, are you still hopeful for him?
No, I was out on him. I think I said on the show a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I mean the team stinks. It does feel like they're completely like devoid of leadership. It just they look lifeless. They look dead. Like nobody, and that's you look at the coaching thing has been a nightmare, but you're still all grown men, professional athletes. Like you got to have an ounce of pride to show up and
Yeah.
just fucking do something. Like it looks like nobody cares. And when you have all these guys that
No,
is
no, no,
supposed,
no, no, no.
supposed
I
to be
take
your leadership group locked up for 5+ years, for 4 or 5 years, what are we looking at?
Caleb Williams. I disagree there. Caleb Williams looks like he cares. He absolutely looks like he cares.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah,
So
man. Sucks. He looks
I
like a
demand
guy.
that, but the larger point remains is that nobody looks like they give a shit. And like, even if they're like, you're a lesser player on the roster, you're too bad to just get by on giving a shit alone. So it doesn't matter if you do give a shit. So it's awful no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, I brought it up last week too about how one of the things I'm mainly concerned about is how position groups that should have been of strength, like the secondary and the wide receiver groups, have just been such a letdown. And
Awful.
again, you see it today. No communication between Rome and Caleb. Keenan's dropping balls. Rome's drop. There's that. Did you remember that? Did you see that? Do you remember that pitch to Swift? I think it was in the third quarter, the second quarter,
Yeah,
and completely whiffed by Rome and Keenan Allen. Like
yep.
didn't even have a second on that pitch right to go anywhere. Swift just got gobbled up right away. Just let the guy go right by him. It's a fucking joke, top to bottom. Like it's a fucking joke. Thomas Brown, even in his halftime speech, like even in the halftime report, like you're like, that's the fucking head coach of the Chicago Bears. And I know he got thrown into it. But still,
But
it's
this,
like it's like jarring.
Have higher
dude,
standards.
but this goes back. This is where we always talk about the organization. The rot starts from the top, and Poles is guilty of this too, where you hire Eberflus and you have disaster on the defensive side of the ball last year. He has to be defense coordinator. Disaster in the offensive coordinator. You fire him. You fire another offensive coordinator, and who gets promoted all the way to head coach? It's the offensive coordinator that almost got Bryce Young killed in Carolina, and then he like no shit. Like we know that guy sucks. Yeah, he had a couple of games where the Bears weren't a complete embarrassment in the middle of the season in early November when he was calling plays from the booth. It's been a joke since then. But it's like, of course, the guy who failed in Carolina is going to fail upwards all the way and being the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Like that doesn't happen anywhere else. and they hire. And I said this in the preseason, I think, where it's like I'm a little bit concerned about having Eberflus build his staff because I think he's such a numbskull and he's not going to hire anybody smarter than him, which means you just got a collection of idiots. And that's what it's turned out to be. And that's on polls too, because whether or not Eberflus was thrust onto him, it does sound like he was the guy who advocated for him to stay after last season in name of continuity when you were changing every other fucking thing and you should have got that right one time. The offensive line stinks. That's on him. There's no athletes on defense except for Kyler Gordon. They're just a boring, slow, ugly, stupid team that ruins every situation, and it starts because they can't get the basics right, and they never will.
No, and even like when I'm starting to come back around, like I sat there today and I was like, or it was yesterday because all the Pete Carroll news came out where he'd be interested in the Bears coaching job. You know, he's 72 years old and he wants to coach again. And I was like, man, you know what? This is great. This is great. We're even in a position to be having these conversations and these thoughts with time to go, right? You're not being late to the party and having, you know, because I think it's the Saints and I'm blanking out who the other head coach was fired midway.
Jets,
yes. The Saints and the Jets got a leg up already because, you know, the Bears had their putt in their hand and they waited 18 weeks. It was like, oh, that's great. But then it's like, you just still can't. Like you can't even be happy for 1 second, you know? It's
you can't because like what's Pete Carroll gonna do here?
Yeah. And I'm just using him as
I know, but like
know?
look at and you can say what you want about Pete Carroll and he's old and whatever. He has a diesel resume. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a college national champion. I think he's one of like 4 guys who have ever done that. It's like Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson, maybe one. Oh, and the other guy from the Cowboys in Oklahoma.
Barry Switzer.
Like that's it. Like it's a short list and he's on it. And in normal circumstances, I would probably be excited. But then it's like, is this old guy gonna come in here and come to the Midwest and like butt heads and like, you know, really whip this place into shape? Like, I don't think so. Like that doesn't seem like that's what I mean. Or it's like I don't trust it to work no matter who they get.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys remember a couple of years ago when the Giants were going through their head coach search and like Dable was the hot commodity, as was Kafka under Andy Reid. And that's been a complete and total. Everybody wanted the Bears to get them. Yeah. You know, they wanted Dable. And that's turned into a complete and total disaster. So it's like, even if they do get Ben Johnson, who, you know, he has an awesome roster that he's working with. It is a perfectly put together roster. Like, even if they do get him, they'll probably end up fucking that up anyways because they're rotten to the fucking core.
I do agree with that. That's why I know Big Cat wants Ben Johnson, and if they got Ben Johnson, I would be like optimistic-ish. But I do have that thought in the back of my mind where he's never been the head guy in charge. This is like the most rotten organization in the world. He's not bringing Penei Sewell and you know, Jahmyr Gibbs and all these guys with him. Monty, Amon-Ra. Like he's coming into a place that is a cesspool, and he might be a fucking wizard, but like you can't clean this up. You need a garbage man. You need a blue-collar garbage man like Vrabel to come in there and just be like, hey, all this shit that you guys been doing before, that's fucking dead.
It's out the door.
There's only one guy that's available right now that I trust to wade through the shit that is the Chicago Bears, and that's Mike Vrabel.
I am completely lockstep with you.
But here, like you guys know I'm a Vrabel guy, and like after that Lions game, I was, you know, I planted my flag, but I was starting to get some WD-40 and thinking about like, you know, loosening it because Johnson looked awesome in the game. He called a great game against the Bears. I didn't, you know, the Carroll stuff, I'm like, whatever, you're right, diesel resume, but I don't know. Like, I'm trying to like think this through. Would it be the worst thing? Like to use like a Toy Story reference, like we have a toy that we're starting to break. And maybe Pete Carroll can be the fucking little guy with the glasses who sews them together. Remember Toy Story 2?
Yeah, no, that was Lotso, wasn't it? That was the Lotso.
No, that was 3. Lotso was 3.
I know Lotso was.
Lazo was 3 rather than get someone who's going to send him into an incinerator.
Can I ask a question real quick just for clarification?
About Toy Story?
No, I've never seen Toy Story. No, I haven't seen Toy Story. Are you talking Pete Carroll or like literally Pete Carroll? Because we've been talking, about the like White Boy Rick, and people have said like, oh, if the Bears hire a defensive guy, which Pete Carroll is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just at risk of losing your coordinator in a year or two, like if everything goes perfect. Pete Carroll's 74. So he like the odds that he and the offensive coordinator make it to the end of Caleb's rookie deal are pretty low.
Dude.
So, and I do think Pete Carroll is a young 74, but I'm sorry, I'm taking a pass on Pete Carroll.
No, listen, you're right. And I had that thought literally 3 hours ago before this fucking shit show just
All
happened.
right. Yeah.
No, because obviously I'm like, like Pete Carroll's a legend, but like I don't really want a coach that's probably going to be there for 3 more years and then call it quits, right?
Like max.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I don't know if it's a 3 years where you can just tell me I'm going to be able to get out of bed and walk versus like dying. Like I don't know. I'd take it maybe. Give me the whatever. Give me the pacemaker, if you will.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's just when I saw that name, I was like, I was encouraged of the fact that a legend like that is reportedly interested. That must mean on some level it's an attractive job.
There's only 32 of them. That's always going to be the case. It doesn't matter.
But I don't want to end up with fucking Bobby Slowick. Like I'd rather have Pete
I
Carroll
understand.
than Bobby Slowick.
Understand.
Bobby Slowick's probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I know.
Like
Well,
the fifth best offensive coordinator available.
Yeah.
That's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I got you.
I mean, I would like to, not actually, but like hypothetically, like spend a year as a Jets fan just to see, like, compare contrasts, Because I can't.
You are fucking sick in the head. Why not give yourself
I don't want
a team that's good.
I very much would love to root for a team that's good. I've never really done that in my entire life, aside from like little outliers here and there. However, aside from the Browns, I think we can all agree have it at least as bad as the Bears, arguably worse. That depends probably where you live and who your bias is for. However, like the Jets, the Raiders, and like all those other fucking mid-card C-level teams out there, what do head coaches like Pete Carroll actually think about them in coaching circles? Because I wouldn't be surprised, even though the Bears have that Caleb Williams right now, they have Rome and DJ locked up and, some pieces here and there. I wouldn't be surprised that even though on paper, like a few months ago, we were all saying this is the best position a rookie quarterback's ever walked into. If these guys who actually know what the fuck they're talking about are like, fuck that place, it's a dumpster fire. Like, would that shock you if people are like, no, I'd rather coach for the Jets, even though I don't know if this is true or not, but even though they're in cap hell, or the Saints, I do know are in cap hell.
Listen, Dave, you bring it up. Like, obviously, there's 32 positions, but if you're a guy who's going to kind of be able to call their shot, like a Vrabel or a Ben Johnson, sure, like that's very possible, right?
That's what I'm saying.
If both those guys have offers and they're like, oh, I kind of like the Jets are the same situation, but like that's very possible. I'm not saying they will, but
that's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. You just got a number 1 pick who people said was the best fucking
twice. They've had it twice, Ed.
Yeah. But
you
also have the first best prospect since fucking Andrew Luck, a lot of people said. And they would pass on it for possibly the Jags or the Jets. It's bad. It's really bad. Give me 1 second here. I want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's already the holiday season, and your local Chevy dealer has everything you want for your wish list. A new SUV or an Equinox EV, Chevy has the gift you want and need. Find your local dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's not if you're not shopping for a new car and just need to make sure your car is safe and weather ready for the season, your local Chevy dealer service center is the place to go. It's that simple, guys.
Yes, they're great.
Yeah, they're great. They got the Equinox EV. I can't recommend EV enough. I really like how they drive. So honestly, it doesn't hurt to just go and just test one out. Like even if
See
you,
what you like.
yeah, see what you like.
Me, I'm Dave, Americana. I like cars that run on oil and gasoline. So I'm not
As
like
do
this
I.
foo-foo-ed over here. Chevy
Mm-hmm.
Blazer, Chevy's got the Tahoe. They got all those cars that are Americana. So go down to ChevyDriveChicago.com, the website, type in your zip code. And the service centers are awesome. I threw that in there too. I went in for an oil change. They checked my brakes. They checked everything. They rotated my tires. I'm ready to go for winter. Shout out Chevy Drive Chicago, the absolute best. And if
Always
you like
find your
EVs,
local,
that's great too. But
always
get
find
some.
your local dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Also want to talk about Beard Guys. Step up your beard game and unleash your beast with Beard Guys. Hair on your face is different from the hair on your body. Specific products are needed. Beard Guys has products that wash, hydrate, and help style your beard. You can start your day off right with a 2-in-1 wash and tame. It's a wash and conditioner combo that's meant to cleanse and condition your beard. It's citrus scent, which smells really nice. You'll be walking around, you'll be like, "Oh, hey, I smell good. What is that?" It's just citrus in your beard.
Hey,
You can
Ed,
hide your beard. What?
can you smell that?
Yeah, I could smell. You're in LA. I could smell the citrus all the way from Los Angeles and Chicago, Dave.
Yes, you can. That's right.
Beautiful stuff. You can
Mhm.
hydrate that beard with some beard oil. That beard oil helps soften and moisturize the beard and skin. Lock that beard into place and style it with some matte styling clay. The product has kaolin clay to help keep your beard in place and can be used for your hair as well. Whether you're a seasoned vet or a rookie beginning the bearded journey, Beard Guys is the brand for your beard. You can find Beard Guys at your local Walmart and Walgreens. Go check it out. We can't recommend it enough. The texture, the feel, it's all good stuff, guys. Carry it on the road now. Can't go without it. So go get your Beard Guys. Okay, getting back into this disgusting game. It's like, it's one of those things where, like, Chief, you're a big history guy, and so are you, Dave, where you could like and kind of go back to a snake draft. So you can go back and be like a fly on the wall of something. Like, I want to be in the coaches meeting. You know, like I want to be in these coach. I want to hear what they say when
I don't
it's
even
like,
know if they're having them.
dude,
Like, are they meeting? Are we sure of that? I
dude,
also had to look up who the defensive coordinator was today too. Like who is even fucking on this team on
Hey,
this staff?
Chief, you could offer me $1,000,000 right now, and I wouldn't be able to tell you as we speak.
Like I'm actively trying to erase this year from my brain. I'm starting with defensive coordinator because it was
There
Eberflus
are
effectively.
years in all sports this won't be one of them. I'll remember this one very vividly. Like the John Fox years for me, those were the years that I just like, poof, they don't exist. They were like, this year was so painful that I will remember it in vivid detail as long as I live.
yeah. I mean,
It is the worst year ever.
This
this
is the worst. This is the worst Bear season of my life, I think.
This is worse than
no,
Trestman, Ed. This
it's
is worse than
still
This
Trestman.
is
it's
worse
not
than
worth the
Tressman.
It is. It
Tressman.
is.
No,
It's
no,
not.
no.
I think it is,
No,
dude.
no, dude. That Sunday night game where the Packers like 28 in the first quarter was like you can't beat that.
We just lost 6-3 at home.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get
I
it.
think this is worse. This year had like so much promise. Like
They got shut out at home by a 3-win team, right? The Patriots are only a 3-win team right now.
I think this. I think this is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst team. The clock management, just incompetent in every fucking way. They don't do anything right. They had, and it's
Yeah,
like
and I think you're forgetting though that team they returned like the number two offense.
no, I
They
know,
came
but the
back with the
defense.
same exact personnel and were dog shit.
Yeah,
Like at least this was like relatively unknown because you had a new quarterback and you added two wide receivers that start and yeah, I don't know. We're splitting hairs because it's all, if diarrhea or, a nice
yeah,
clumpy turd, shit is shit, right?
yeah.
And you know what the worst part is we got to haul ass up to Green Bay to let them rub our bellies next week.
I don't even care. I'm gonna stuff my face with Portillo's and just like enjoy Lambeau Field and bury this fucking season.
But like,
I think whatever happens, I just when that clock goes off, it's gonna be like New Year's. Like I almost want to pop champagne just because it's over. You know,
We
like I
need
want to give
like
you a hug and be like, it's over.
yeah,
Like,
we need to have like engraved bottles of like I survived the 2024 Bears.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah,
let's hop back in. Let's hop back in the Suburban and like stop at Quick Trip. Like shake up every Bears fan.
yeah.
And, you know, like just whatever it is. Um, but yeah, the clock management thing. We got to talk about that a little bit. But that's why I'm saying about these coaches meeting. Like, do you like Thomas Brown has a title, but is there a captain on this team? Is
Uh,
someone in this team?
I don't know, man. I don't know. This is like one of those things with the clock management where I know that if we took like Tommy Walker or my nephew who like play Madden, that they would absolutely be like they would know the situations better than this Bears coaching staff. Like the two timeouts there, like that was timeout, false start, timeout when they're driving down trying to get something on the board. And it was at the end of the
Or
second
when they were
quarter.
going to punt on 4th and 5.
Fourth and five. It was 4th and 1. They got another false start, 4th and 5
Is that
timeout
what it
again.
was?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
two
I had
different
to
instances.
watch from a fucking surfer's bar without
10 in a
volume.
row. I can't believe we're gonna lose 10 in a fucking row, dude. Well, we did lose 10 in a row. We're going to lose 11 in a row. Excuse me.
Yeah.
67 fucking sacks. 9 away from the record.
Do you think he can get it?
Can he get sacked 9 times in Green
No,
Bay?
he won't be in the
Hey,
game.
hey, as Dave would say, it's a non-zero chance.
It's a non-zero chance. It is a
Right, Dave?
non-zero chance.
Yeah, I mean,
So it'll probably be. I saw
I
the
think there's a 0 chance for this one because I have a feeling they're going to have a quick hook with them this week.
why they haven't had a quick hook with him all year. He's been
I
getting
mean, well,
fucking murdered all year long.
correction. They should have a quick hook with him this week.
They won't.
And if he's in a game and has a chance at getting sacked for the 9th time, I know it's obviously a team record, but like if he's in there and they're about to set their record, I will fucking shoot someone in the face.
I do feel like this coaching staff, whoever it may be, it does feel like they're trying to cover, they're trying to keep it close, they're trying to not be embarrassed instead of like we're trying to win. Like you do have young guys like Austin Booker does not play. What I don't need to see another DeMarcus Walker rep. Let me see, like, let's try to do something positive for the future. Same thing with Caleb. I don't need another slip screen on 3rd and 22. Give me a fade. Give me something that has a chance of picking up a first down. 1, 2, 3, bang, ball out. You throw it 20 yards. If they pick it off, who gives a fuck? Like show something where you're actually trying to move the ball instead of maybe not throw interceptions. I don't give a shit. I want to see Austin Booker. I want to see Caleb throwing the ball down the field and scheme up something, even if it's 2-man routes. Have one of those routes go beyond the sticks and throw the ball. And if it's picked off, who fucking cares?
Our front four on defense. Our front four on defense is so bad.
Atrocious.
Like Charbonnet was just like
Gashed.
at will 4 hours, 4 yards at will.
Yeah.
Like without
being
even have
touched.
to like what do you say?
Without being touched.
Yeah, like you could have put a blindfold on him and just
Yep.
told him to run, and he was getting 4 yards of carry.
Yeah. Be like run to the 5 hole.
Yeah, and like but you're right. The worst part is that I just hope, and I think he is. I think Caleb is a mentally tough dude. I really do.
He has to be. But like I do think he's broken right now. I think he's a tough kid, but like that he's hanging on to it. Like there's nobody like again, like just he looks shell shocked to me. He's not slinging the ball. Like I want him taking risks and trying to fit balls in tight windows. He did that once tonight that I can remember.
But that touchdown pass that got called back because of Curhan's fucking holding penalty, like that was great.
Yeah,
that just shows we could do. He did a rolling left on the run.
Yeah,
like great. He's got talent.
Body just slung it.
I know.
He's got talent.
That's where you see that. It's like, man, like that's people who like are only really watching the games. You know, like that's like real Bears fan. Everyone else, you know, but whatever. I'm trying not to get bogged down in the national narrative shit because that's going to be the front page. That's going to lead fucking first. You name it.
Yeah, of course.
and everything about Caleb Williams.
Mhm.
But in reality, I just don't understand how you could watch that game and not think that we have the biggest buffoons on our coaching staff, cannot think that we have little cones trying to block this guy and all the other fucking awards we have.
But this is why, like, I think back to that press conference with Kevin Warren and Poles about how they're like, oh, we're gonna be it's well, he's ultimately head of football, but like a lot has changed since that meeting too, and now it's like I think you have to fire everyone. I would, and if there's any issue with Warren and Vrabel and who reports to who, Warren, you're fucking out too, dude. Like, just it has to be a complete tear down, fresh start. Like, I don't want any of this infighting. Who's in charge? We're doing it together. If you guys are together, you're walking out of here together. Get them both the fuck out of town.
Two quarterbacks, you don't have one. What
Yeah.
wasn't that fucking asshole? Like when he got hired, Kevin Warren, wasn't that literally all anybody talked about? Oh, he's hired for the stadium.
Yeah, he built that Viking stadium.
Exactly.
Supposedly.
And a few others. Well, like what? How did all of a sudden he just inherit power? Where did that happen?
Because there's a vacuum, Dave. No one's in fucking charge. It's a when you have a meek little idiot and 100-year-old woman, like you and I could walk into Hallis and be like, we're in charge now. I actually think
I'm an alpha male.
yeah. Why don't we try that? Why don't we just like set up like we're George in Seinfeld, where he's just like, I'm not leaving and this is my office, and now like eventually we'll just be in charge.
Like they'll try to sweat us out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, like I just think someone needs to like, I don't know, like draw a picture and show George like how organizations are run. Like, I don't know, like can they have like a lunch with the Cubs? And I'm not saying the Cubs are perfect, but to be like, hey, this is Crank Kenny. He is with the business side and he helps to make sure that there's a good profit margin on hot dogs. This is Jed Hoyer. He calls the baseball show. He makes the call if you go get Kyle Tucker. Like, they're separate, and they don't get in each other's way, right?
Yeah, that would be. We should send him on like a summer internship with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can we fill out? We should
probably have internships posted on their website.
Yeah, we should
look
probably.
While you guys continue the conversation.
We should figure that out. We should post George McCaskey's resume for a Steelers entry level position like summer internship.
Summer 2025.
Well,
internships are available and they start in May.
Perfect. I wish it was before the draft. I wish it started earlier so he can't fuck up the coaching hiring in the draft. But like that's like he should have to do that. Because it's like he should have to suffer some embarrassment. Like I'm embarrassed that I had to watch that game. That's the last thing in the world I wanted to do. Those fans with bags over their heads, and like George should have to suffer some public humiliation. And I think like getting coffee for Mike Tomlin and the Rooney family, I think that's a good start. And make that be Hard Knocks.
And that's it drives me fucking insane. That that he's in some fucking Uber or some black car or some bus headed back to Sycamore, wherever the fuck he lives. He just jacked his thermostat up to 78. He put his slippers on. He's hopping in. He turned on some black and white television show, and he's gonna fucking sleep like a cartoon where they go, me, 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 me. He's gonna fucking do that.
Watching Mork and Mindy or something.
Yes, and it's infuriating. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
And he's gonna wake up and he's gonna go to the coffee shop. Oh, hello, Mr. Whoever, Mr. Horowitz, how you doing? And it's gonna be another Friday for him.
Do you think he just kept moving further and further west because every year was such an embarrassment? He's like, maybe I'll see less people in Sycamore, and eventually he's just in like he's living in Quad Cities, umping baseball. Like I don't like how the fuck if you're George McCaskey, well, no one lives in Sycamore. I used to ride. That's out by like the north of my parents or west of my parents.
Sycamore is the most nothing city in the history of cities.
They have the racetrack there. I used to ride my bike on the Great Western Trail down to fucking Sycamores, 20 miles down and back.
Sycamore.
If you're known as a suburb of DeKalb, then you have issues.
The Sycamore DeKalb rivalry is a nice one. I don't want to disparage Sycamore too much. I got nothing against. I know some
Yeah,
Sycamore guys.
Sycamore's got the Speedway. Speedway's
They're
cool.
going to be
Yeah,
upset.
it's the drag strip, right?
I don't. Yeah,
It's,
push
I
him
think
to
it's around
fucking
track.
listen. Push him to Twin Lakes. Give him fucking paper ship ownership of the Packers, and he can still say he owns a team.
That's what he's got now,
I
basically.
know. It's just, I just fucking hate the guy.
Yeah. And like I don't want to hate him because I just think he's just this incompetent nincompoop.
Yeah.
But like it bothers me that I don't think he is bothered by this. I'm bothered that he's not bothered.
Yes.
And also like the Bears, like Virginia, I think they own 23% or something like that. And like the Ryan family has got like 21, they're second. The 77% has to be like, you guys, like, they do something? Can we do a hostile takeover? George has been in charge for what, 20 years now? He's had 2 winning seasons. He had 18 and I think like 13 or like one other year that he was in charge that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, like, dude, I saw Goodell was there today. Like, and I'm like, I had thoughts in my head. I was like, dude, I'd probably sell my soul and be a Goodell guy if he like made a forced ownership change or something. If he Donald Sterling went against me, like I'm Team Goodell. I'm sorry, Dave. I love you.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I'm Team Goodell.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll let the chips fall where they may with Portnoy, but yeah, we would need that. Yeah. And I always bring this up every time someone brings up the Roger Sterling, but that deposition where he was like, you know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
He's like,
Magic
yeah, she was
Johnson.
sucking on my dick and
Yeah.
whatever. And he's like, sir, the question was, is this your signature? I can totally see George having like that exact same conversation, just absolutely pissing down his leg at one question under oath. Like that, like I need him out there. And this goes back to like the internship, make the Steelers have Hard Knocks. Like he wasn't in Hard Knocks at all. I am beginning to, you know how you want like a 24-hour camera of White Sox Dave?
Yeah.
I need that of George. That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
He probably has like a terrarium that he raises little fucking
Turtles,
like those little mites or whatever, you know?
100%, dude. He's got a gnome collection. He's got, like anything you think about George, that's what it is.
Dude, he's the like other chemist in the Breaking Bad that like does all the weird dancing that he has to.
yeah.
Dale Bedecker?
Yeah, Gil Whittaker. That's who he is.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
All right, can we get to Drywall Guy, please? I've been really waiting to see you and talk to you about Drywall. I want to know how the firing went down.
I just texted him and I was just like, hey man, I'm gonna have someone else finish the project. Don't worry about coming back.
What'd say?
No response.
Duh. Are you home right now?
Yeah, I'm home right now.
I wouldn't put it past him to like show up tomorrow and finish.
He might.
Yeah.
He might.
What about your Cub sweatshirt?
I haven't I said this earlier, like there's just shit everywhere in there. I haven't like gone through the rubble to find if it's there, but I am not confident that it is. I think that's a goner, which is a shame. It's a Cubs World Series sweatshirt.
You want that for life.
Your last good memory. It's your last good memory in this town.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's immortalized in your love letter to White Sox Dave on opening day.
Yes, exactly. It's my opening day sweatshirt.
Right.
If I get it though, like it'll kind of be sick with primer on it. I feel like a lot of people appreciate that. You're walking around Wrigley with a primer Cubs sweatshirt.
Those who would know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
game worn by your drywall guy.
Exactly. It's been a hell of a fucking process with this guy, man. He just kept kicking the can. He was here Friday, and like I keep telling people, he's like at the point where he's like 97% done. Like he's so close. He's at legitimately can see the finish line, and he just refuses to do it.
I
Just
love the
refuse.
idea of like, hey man, I gotta find someone else to finish the project, and the new guy comes in and just does like one nail, like puts it and it's done.
This guy, this is like a half a day job for whoever takes it over next. I'm not kidding you.
It's going to
And
be a pain in the ass to find someone for that.
probably, but I listen. Thank you to so many people have reached out, and I didn't realize so many people have become invested in this. They have,
Dude,
they have been, and
Hey, actually, on that note, I'm in the need for a drywall guy and a paint guy myself because I had to fire my paint guy last summer.
well, people will be reaching out because people were
Shoot me
helping.
a DM. I need a paint and a drywall guy.
It
I
made
need
me
I
want to
need a paint guy too.
it made me want to like start a reliable contractors group and like lead the group where like I don't know,
Like a
like
better
make our
business
own.
bureau for it.
Yes, exactly. Like make our own fucking Yelp for contract because it seems like a lot of people too. As many people reached out to help. There were so many people who were like, "Hey,
Get swindled.
going through the same shit." Kai said it was a 3 week job. It's 3 months in, and he's still not fucking finished. So it happens more than you think. But
Yeah.
yeah, this guy is
I
just
Eddie, no one's had your experience though.
oh,
You got dummied by that guy. You paid him up front, and then he said he was probably thrilled when he got fired today.
yeah.
Oh, he
Well,
couldn't have been more thrilled.
I had one last carrot. I still owe him $500.
Yeah. Okay.
So like legitimately, he's an idiot if he doesn't
How
come
do
to.
you owe him money after all this?
Uh,
How do you owe him money?
because it was the last spot I could hold on to. Where
What
I'm
a
like this.
sucker.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Well,
Dude,
no,
no.
not
Like,
no. The other guy who got hustled by a drywall guy on the
no.
podcast.
You say this, but dude, these guys got it all by the balls. Everyone's like, "Why did you pay him?" Because then they're like, "All right, hey man, I need money for material." And it's like, "No, man, I gave you too much money." And he's like, "All right, man, then I can't work without material." And I'm just like, "Well, shit." Like now, now and it's like he's here, and I know he's gonna work. Like he's in front of my face, so it's like, "All right, take some money and go get the material." It's like the chicken or the egg. And
But then he took the money and did what?
he would do a lot, but he just won't fucking finish. Like I said, Christmas Eve, he showed up. He showed up. He said he was coming at 10. He showed up at 2:26.
Dude, that's great. But that's like dinner time for Christmas Eve.
I
That
know.
literally. What
And then
what does he have to finish though?
uh,
Like
there's one
describe.
more there's one more area where he has to paint. There's like some of the edges around the door are like fucking jagged. Like they just did shitty cuts on them. And like a good drywall person probably would have made cleaner cuts, but it's obviously hard because you're cutting around like the tracks and everything. But like so there needs to be like some type of corner molding that is put over it so it doesn't look like fucking
So
ass. And like that.
so he has to do the molding and the like floorboards and shit.
Correct. Yes. That needs to paint the closet,
I
and
mean, I would assume
which
now
is not
this isn't
much.
very good podcast fodder, but I would assume you could just take the measurements to like a national, store that does this kind of stuff and get the cuts and just nail them in yourself.
Hey, Dave, you're right. But the point is I paid this guy to fucking do it.
You know
So he
what,
fucking do it.
Ed? Checkmate. You're correct.
And that's what a lot of people will say, though. So it's not just you.
You are correct.
Exactly. That's the end of the at the end of the day. I paid this fucking guy. And then there's like other spots, like the paint just doesn't look great. And like you just needed touch-ups and shit.
Dude,
So
credit to you for not putting this guy's name out there because you could have
that's the
ruined
thing.
his.
Everyone plays the tough guy until like they're in the
Oh
situation.
no, I'm the biggest fucking vagina of all time.
I'm
It's like,
saying.
Oh, Dave, I don't think you would have put up with them coming up, never
Mm,
showing up, and when they do housing all your beers and wearing your clothes. Like
no,
that's the worst I've ever heard.
I want to take a picture of the fridge to show you guys how
like
bare this thing is with just one bottle of rosé. That might be another. That
how
might be.
many?
How
Oh,
about
wait,
this? How
I
about
know
we have-
exactly what fridge you're talking about. How full was it?
I mean, there,
Stop.
dude. There's like a there's like a tea company that I really like. They like do like these fucking like tall boy, like Arnold Palmer type things.
Hmm.
There was like, and like I was, you buy them like the 12 pack, and they're not like cheap particularly.
All right.
He must have housed like 20 of those, like Millers, Noons, like you name it. Then like the thing is, it was one font like Coke, Sprites, like you name it. He was housing it, dude. Like you name it. He was just getting after it. That's what we
That's
should
what I
do.
mean. How do you owe him 500? He had $500 worth of snacks.
Right. You're right. He did. I I want to bring I should bring the rosé and we should pop that after the last
Oh,
bet.
that'd be great. Great idea.
Yeah.
What's that old acquaintance be forgot, that New Year's Eve song or whatever? Yeah, we'll just pour that, play that song. We're on to 25.
Yes. I want to do or maybe we'll save it for opening day. I don't know. We'll think about it.
If you get your Cub sweatshirt back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So this I have to send you guys a picture. Maybe we could post in the show just how lonely this bottle of rosé looks in that fridge. It's ridiculous.
All right. You guys already know it's Chevy. It's the holiday season. We talked about it earlier in the show. They are one of our most loyal, best sponsors, so we're doing it twice. Chevy Drive Chicago has everything you need, every make and model. So if you want an SUV or an Equinox EV, Chevy has that gift for you that you want and need. So check out ChevyDriveChicago.com. Type in your zip code. The dealership nearest you will pop up. And if you're not shopping for a new car and you just need to make sure your car is safe and weather ready for the season, your local Chevy dealer service center has you all covered. It's the place to go. Like I said, I just did it. They rotated my tires. I checked my brakes, make sure everything's good to go. Got my oil changed. I'm ready for the winter. I'm ready to drive up the Lambo. All thanks to Chevy and ChevyDriveChicago.com. So can't recommend it enough. Dave's getting the car in 2025. He's starting that process with Chevy Drive Chicago, of course. So what are you looking at, Dave? Anything in particular?
I'm going SUV action this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't think you'll be able to fit it in your parking spot, but I look
I
forward
got
to you
street
trying it.
parking and
Yeah.
other means
Yeah.
of parking, but
Maybe a smaller, maybe the little smaller Equinox, the EV, that would probably fit in there nice and easy. You and Eddie can just be EV guys together.
yep.
But yeah,
Come on
Chevy
in.
Drive Chicago. Always find your local dealer at Chevy Drive Chicago, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears.
Go do it. All right. Anything else?
That is it. On my end, I'm in a hotel like business room, and we have people coming in looking to use the room. So I'm going to check out.
Great. Enjoy
Nice. Good for
California,
you.
Dave.
Enjoy California. You going to the Winter Classic or anything, Chief?
I don't know. I might. I don't really want to.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm going on a cruise vacation on Monday. Can't wait.
nice.
Just just not think about this team.
Mhm.
You gonna find a drywall guy while you're down there?
Maybe.
Have it be done?
Yeah, I'd love to talk shop with some drywall guys.
No,
Tons.
I mean just like when you come back from your vacation, your garage is finally done.
Yeah,
Is that the plan?
no, I'm like I couldn't get a guy to come today, and I'm flying early tomorrow. So I
Got
have
it.
to wait until I get back. So yeah, we're on to 2025 where this is
Okay. All right. All
yeah,
right. Sounds good.
exactly. Um, all right.
All right.
That's everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's a stretch. And we will be back. Not next week. There will be no shows at all next week, actually. We will be back the Monday after the Green Bay game. So we will
Great.
see you then. And I hope you guys have a great new year and a great holiday. That's it.